Hello, everybody. Welcome back once more to Anime Yay or Nay. I'm the Outback Al.
I'm hot for justice.
I'm cheating you.
And I'm NV Jitters.
And we're back again this week. Getting near the end of some of the series that we've been watching. We watched Magia Record episode 11 and Tokyo Mew Mew episodes 47 to 49. We went with 3 episodes this week instead of 4 to give us a nice little even thing going into the finale next week.
Yep.
We all just watched Magia Record, so why don't we start with that? So,
Okay.
I kind of felt like this episode was the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Because we've
Yeah,
had
final 2 episodes will be pretty action-packed.
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping because yeah, the previous episode had a little bit more action and more things going on and more like character stuff and all sorts of stuff happening. I think we gave a lot of praise to the last episode. And now going into this one, I feel like it raised a lot of questions for things we've been theorizing, or at least I have. But let's go into the plot and see where we're at. So, God, how did this thing start? Did it just start where we left off last time?
No. It started off with Iroha outside of Tsukasa's school.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for her to come out of school so she could, intercept her so she could talk about, Nemu.
Yeah, that's where because we found out that the little sister's friends from the hospital are somehow connected to the Magius. So who do you go to but the weakest link? I guess you could kind of consider this like a parlay kind of situation. Exchange of information, kind of like, let's negotiate a little bit. It's peaceful. I always feel like that Madoka always has these scenes where we're talking back and forth with possible frenemies in a cafe over drinks that we will never consume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, maybe that's just a common trope in a number of media, but I feel like it's pretty common here.
They had it pretty commonly, at least with Madoka and Homura.
Yeah.
From the first series, and then also I guess you could kind of consider Mami, Sayaka, and Madoka in their little
they actually
info
drank
dump with QB.
They actually drank and ate their stuff. I don't know if I count that. I'm mostly talking about how much food is wasted.
It's a sort of situation where you're talking with an enemy across a table in a calm sort of setting. They got the same music playing in the background.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, they're kind of just discussing back and forth. I did like that Iroha actually went in with a plan in case something bad happened. She's not going just please, I'm going to try to appeal to your better emotions or something. She's like, listen, I need some information. And if you don't tell me, I'm going to tell people stronger than me what your actual identity is, and that's going to be a problem for you. Oh, and if I don't come back from this, people are going to find out anyway. So, yeah, that's that's some forward thinking, mafia negotiation kind of stuff. I kind of like that. But yeah, so the girl, I forget which one it was, Suki something.
Tsukiyo.
Probably. One of the twins is like, yeah, okay, you'll know my answer in 24 hours or something. It just really feels like a good scene from a negotiation kind of.
Well, she said that she
movie.
wanted to talk to Mew Mew about it first or something like that.
Yeah, you have to go to your boss all the time. I'm just the lieutenant. I can't make decisions for the organization.
Yeah.
It's very
the Magius, the best mafia gang.
Oh God, what was it? When Tom Green was kidnapped by was it Barzini? No, it wasn't Barzini. The Hungarian in The Godfather. He kidnapped him so that he could give negotiation terms to Sonny after they hit the old man. You guys have seen The Godfather, right?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay, so
And
this
here-
episode's over. We're done. I think this channel's done. Everything's the Outback Al's dead. Madoka's going nowhere now. No more Oath Gaming. No more. Yeah, we're done. Okay, bye everybody. Anyway, no. You guys need to see The Godfathers. One of the greatest movies ever made.
I know, it's on my list.
You better move it up your list. Okay, but references that you're not getting aside. Yeah, so they're negotiating terms for information exchange, possible meetings with higher ups. I don't really know, other than blackmail, what Iroha is bringing to the table. So, but in any case, it goes through because we pretty soon Mafuyu is making an appearance at their abode. I know part of it was like a play for them to be like, hey, what do you think about joining the Magius? But I think also it was kind of like a power move where your enemy just suddenly shows up in your home, the place that you think is safe from everything. Mm-hmm. And I gotta give them points for that, and they played it very well.
And it's also like, okay, who's this new girl that's acting as Yachia's friend? After I'm gone.
There's that too. There's a lot of layers to those scenes. Especially when the other girl, I like how like all the girls were like outside, like, ooh, what are they saying? What are they saying? And she just like opens up the window, is like, hey, you guys want to come in and actually hear what's going on, or you guys just want to stand out there like jackasses? It's interesting, and yeah, they were like, if you come to this place, to this rumor mill area at this time of day, we're going to give you a little lecture, give you a little pitch, let you know what we're about and why we're doing it and what we can do to salvation of magical girls, yada, yada, yada. And then Yachio comes in, and she's not happy.
Nope. Not at all.
No. She kind of got a little pretty touchy about having her former friend, now enemy, in her home and, talking shit. So she tells her to leave, and I don't know. She's just taking it kind of hard. I think there's probably more to their relationship than we were given previously in regard to, like, we know that, yeah, she thought she was dead. She thought, like, all these things, and it's like, oh, was I betrayed? Was I this? Was I that? But I think there's, like, some other things that maybe Yachio's not showing as much as to what part of the other bits of fallout might have been. Which hopefully we'll find out soon. We have to.
Well, the court,
there's only 2 episodes after this.
I was going to say, Kaide got informed by, I forget who. I think, was it the coordinator told her what happened in their past or something like that?
No.
No. That was, it wasn't Kaide either. It was,
Rena.
Yes. And that was Momoko. Who... We didn't really get to hear it, but we're being informed that someone else is being informed of it. So that's something. We got to see the coordinator again. I don't know if that's important or not.
Nah.
I'm going to say this. We keep saying that it's possible that they part of the wings of Magius. But Iroha doesn't recognize her, which says that she's probably not one of the girls that Yui was with in the hospital. So I guess that's something to maybe be a bit of innocence, though I wouldn't say that that's definitive. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Are we talking about the coordinator right now?
Yeah, I figured like they're in so little of it, let's just like do this little section on the coordinator. Do we have any new thoughts on her?
I really hope they don't pull like it was her the entire time kind of thing, because yeah, there's not much development for her.
Yeah,
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it completely past them, because I know so many anime have done that, like, oh, the person who was there the whole time, like, was the bad guy, but it's always like that person that you don't notice because it's like they're not really there, and who cares? Like, I know this isn't a shonen show where they're going to have, like, hundreds of episodes to maybe build up, like, an Aizen character like they did in Bleach. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that they've had enough build-up to actually work her in. At the same time, other than, talking about the Wings of Magius, they haven't had a lot of time to develop a character for their big bad, either. Unless it's, like, Felicia. Wouldn't that be surprising?
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too, but that would be the biggest shocker, that the idiot actually turns out to be the evil genius behind everything.
I almost have a feeling they're going to do like a twist ending where it's Yui who's the main bad guy all along, and her two hospital roommates are like the two people that we saw hitting last week.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that that'd be that big of a twist. Yeah, you've been looking for your sister this whole time, and they turn out to be the big bad. Yeah, sure, that makes sense. I'm not being sarcastic. That actually makes sense.
I still bank on the opinion that she's Tiny Kubi. But that's just me.
I don't know
that's
that I
my
agree.
second theory, too.
It just seems weird. Which I think they had a little bit of a debate in this episode about what to call Tiny QB. Is it Mini QB, Chibi QB, Baby QB? And they had like a bunch of nicknames for it. I don't think they settled on anything yet, did they?
No.
Yeah, QT was the last one.
Yeah, it was the last one said, but did they all agree on it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think they agreed on anything.
No, they didn't
We'll see
agree.
what they call him next time, and that should be his definitive name, probably.
Yeah.
It's like Baby Yoda. It's like, yeah, Baby Yoda has a name, but we all call it Baby Yoda.
Does it have it? It's the child.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
child
but-
is what he's called.
Like, Yoda's a proper name. I mean, if you met a human named Chris, you wouldn't call every human you meet after that, it's a Chris. it's a, it's like Yoda's not a species name. As far as we're rare, like, that's at least what George Lucas has said. And I guess, like, some of the other guys, I don't know. It's a whole, we're not going to get into Star Wars stuff. That's a whole can of worms that's, like, very complicated. So let's talk about something less complicated. Madoka.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to bring up, because we have discussed at least a little bit where we're at in the timeline, especially in consideration to Mammy and Madoka and the whole guiding thing. I actually, like, someone did comment on our last episode about they were disagreeing with at least my interpretation of what they meant by guided, whether Sayaka and Madoka were dead or not. And it was a good discussion, actually. I think they brought up some good points. I don't think there's a definitive answer at this point. It's a very Schrodinger's cat situation. You could interpret the word guided to mean, oh, guided to be a magical girl. Do you stop guiding them then? Or guided to mean they're dead. I can't teach them anymore. It could go either way, really. But we saw one of the first witches from the original series in this episode.
I know. I was like, oh my god, it's the flower stomach.
It throws a monkey wrench in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I know that witches move around and you know, these aren't like one-to-one things, because I think the fact that Kamihama City has kind of disrupted a bunch of things has probably thrown a number of events out of whack. But does this mean that this episode takes place around the first or second day of Homura's loop?
I mean, it might. I mean,
That throws
as
all
far
my
as we
theories
know,
out the window.
Kyoko and Mami have been around for quite some time.
Oh, they have, yes.
So, like, the fact that we're not seeing any of the other three could potentially mean that this is around the point where, like, either, like, they're just starting out as magical girls, or something else has happened.
I mean, I think it does lead it a little more towards just starting out, because Mamie does know Madoka and Sayaka, which she really didn't meet until after Homura's month began, based on the fact that Homura can prevent Madoka from becoming a magical girl.
Mm-hmm.
So...
But then the question for that is, if that witch was around at the beginning of the series, and, like, because Mammy's already met them, Like,
Yes.
she feels like she's guided them. I feel like that means she's stopped, like, being their mentor at this point and kind of letting them, like, go off on their own.
Possibly.
Like, that to me says that she was with them prior to this.
Mm-hmm. I will say that the fact that we are not in Makihara? Mitakihara. It doesn't mean that the witch is there in the first day or so. Because the witch would have had to have time to leave Mitakihara to get to Kamihama City. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know exactly how far that would be. We also don't know how quickly witches tend to move on their own. And we know that Mammy could probably transport herself very fast. We know she's been there a while. And she wouldn't have been there to stop that witch. So maybe it was mucking around there for a while before it came here. So it's not like a one-to-one. We can't really determine exactly where we are compared to Madoka's original run.
Yeah.
Or at least the general Homura loop timeline. But it definitely would put it very early on, at the very least. So, I don't know. I still feel like the Madoka Sayaka Homura thing is still a bit of a Schrodinger's cat as to whether they're alive, dead, magical girl, or otherwise. More than likely, they have become magical girls at this point. Now, whether they're dead magical girls or living magical girls is a little bit to be determined, I think. But, I don't know. It at least places us much earlier in the timeline than we thought we were, I think.
Yeah.
Again, speculation. Maybe it's just a witch that looks like another witch. I can't read witch writing, so I think that was the same title that the other one had. Maybe it's its twin. We have had twins in this show. That would be really dumb. Oh, it's this witch is the twin of another witch for reasons. I don't think they're that stupid to do that, so. But yeah, I was wondering about that shop they were going. It's like, how many weird-looking shops do you have in this place?
Yeah.
What if all of Kamihama City is just a giant witch lair, a la Rebellion?
Well,
Wouldn't that be a kick in the pants?
I just like how they had a big setup for a fight over a bunch of saucers, and they just cut away from it. It's like, really?
I did want to see
show-
that. I mean, technically we already saw Mammy fight it. We're not going to see any new moves from the witch, but it would have been nice to see some of the girls work together a little bit.
Considering that usually it's Yachio that delivers the fatal blow half the time.
Yeah. Apparently it was a very easy witch to beat, which, I mean, makes sense. Mammy didn't have any trouble with it either. And I think 4 magical girls, even if they're lesser than Mammy, would probably be able to handle themselves. I mean, how could they not handle it? They had the most powerful magical girl of all time with them. It goes without saying that they won. But, yeah, raised a lot of questions there for me. We'll see where that goes. If we'll ever get any definitive answers. Are we still thinking that this may incur a split core type situation?
I hope at this point it does. Because I really don't know how it's going to wrap up everything in 2 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too. I mean, it feels like we're slowly setting up towards introducing the big bad in like the last episode, and then season 2 would be just fighting the big bad and other ancillary adventures, which I'd be fine with. I feel like, depending on how closely they're basing this show on their source material game, there should be enough storyline for it. I'm sure someone in the comments is going to let me know how like one-to-one it is. I think someone has said before. I just don't remember the exactly what they've said.
I think they said that it's following the route of the game pretty well, but it's telling it a little bit slower than the game does.
Okay. I can kind of see that. I mean, I haven't played the game, so I wouldn't know for sure, but like just based on like how much information and plot we get per episode, it feels a little slow burny. Mm-hmm. I think we've gotten a little bit more lately, or at least more pieces that are fitting the puzzle a little bit more, as opposed to just getting more random shit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if, like, they're going to try to put Rina and Kaede back in the focus for these last 2 episodes to, like, do something. Because they clearly built up something with Rina, and Kaide's been MIA for a while. I don't particularly care because I didn't like either of them, but I don't think they would have given them screen time had they not been set up to do something. And
Well, that was a big cliffhanger for Kaede. Like, what the hell happened to her? So
yeah, that's a cliffhanger. Finding out that this person is finding out about Yachio's backstory is a cliffhanger bit. There's a number of cliffhangers in this, not to mention the least of which is the actual cliffhanger. They go to the Magius meeting with a bunch of tubes coming out of the ground. It was kind of a weird scenario.
Yep.
And they meet the other girl that Yui was in the hospital with, and she's one of the Magius. One of the Magius.
Yep.
Saitama. Sorry, I heard that. There's 2 names in here where I'm just like, okay, this is giving me flashbacks of those shows. One of them is Saitama, and one of them is Akatsuki. So, yeah, having fun with that. But, yeah, so we've kind of confirmed that people have said there's 3 Magius, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that Yui is one of the other Magius. If her 2 friends from the hospital that she's only ever shown interacting with are evil Magius leaders and there's a mysterious 3rd one, I fucking wonder who it is.
poor Iroha, it's gonna break her heart.
I think that's the point, and that puts her in a very low place to build up from in season 2, if that's what happens. But yeah, that's our cliffhanger. We're probably going to learn a little bit more backstory. Maybe we'll learn about Yui in this next episode coming up. It could be we're leading into a big climactic battle where the good guys lose, the bad guys win, and we go into season 2 from an Empire Strikes Back to Return of the Jedi kind of thing. Who knows? I don't know. What do you guys have any other thoughts on this episode? Any other things?
I mean,
yeah, go for it.
there was one line in the episode I thought that was kind of, well, I don't want to say it was weird, but it was kind of cliche writing where Yufua comes in and, you know, she and Yachio are going at it, and she's like, "Oh, so are your friends happy here?" And Yachio's like, "They're not my friends. They're just my roommates."
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that because it was kind of whatever to me. But yeah, that is a little... I mean, she always was a little Tsundere-esque.
I think the thing is that she doesn't want to, like, portray her relationship with the girls as stronger than she wants it to seem, especially to someone she no longer gets along with and who could use that as leverage against her.
That's fair.
So, I'm more of the opinion that she's trying to play it smart and make sure that the girls, like, don't fall into any danger, because...
Immediately goes into danger.
Well...
Yeah. Well, you can't stop stupid people from being stupid.
No, you can't. It's like, say, I don't know, Mifuyu and, the twins, like, say they, like, capture one of them and, like, hold them hostage or ransom or whatever for something, or to, like, try to get Yachio to come back to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's, I don't know, that's good
It's
logic to me.
supervillain 101 to take the people who people care about and then be like, oh, I'm going to use them against you. So I get, what Yachio's doing, but it's just cliche to also have the people that you're talking about in the room so that everyone's going to be like, oh, well, you don't actually like us. We know that you care about them. They know you care. It's going to be one of those, like, drama for the sake of drama things. Or maybe it won't. Maybe she really hates them. I don't know.
No, I don't think she hates them, but...
I don't think she would have gone out and, like, had them all buy personalized mugs if she didn't actually like them.
The only thing I can think of is maybe she doesn't want to get that close to somebody again like she was for Mewtwo. Like, maybe she just is like you're friends, but I don't want to make you like my best friends, so I don't get heartbroken again.
I definitely think that's what she was doing early in the series. It's when she was very cold to everyone, because it was like, I've been hurt, I don't want to open myself up. That definitely felt like it, but I feel like over time, Iroha and the others have kind of worn down her walls a little bit to where she is caring about them again.
Yeah, I agree.
But of course, that means that we have to go to the old, I don't actually care about you, Baka, kind of thing. It's a little used. But yeah. I guess that's just where they're at. You can't completely get rid of cliche. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to discuss in this. I feel like I brought up everything. Did anyone else have any other things?
Not that I can really think of. I mean, I just didn't catch, like, a good chunk of that last bit you said, but...
Yeah. Alright, I guess we can move on to Mew Mew.
Yep,
So we all did watch this week.
I did, at least.
No.
What?
I'm a busy person and I'm sick.
I get that. We're sorry that you're feeling sick. Well, you've kind of seen it before anyway. You can probably chime in if you feel like it.
These episodes aren't too memorable,
Interesting.
except for the last one that we watched. I mean, and even that one wasn't that great. It's actually, like... I like the manga, how it had it written a lot better. That's just me.
I'm really wondering myself, like, how I feel about this, because, like, I came out of watching these three just
Meh.
kind of meh about the whole thing. I don't know if, like, I've been so down on it lately that I just don't care now that the plot's actually ramping up, or what, but yeah, I didn't care that
Well, I
much. And maybe
mean,
part of it's like, I just don't care about Mark.
I think it's... Well, first, obviously you don't care about Mark. I
Yeah.
don't really care that much about Mark.
They did nothing to make him interesting throughout this series, and now they're just like, oh, by the way, he's the tuxedo mask Blue Knight, whatever you want to insert the magical MacGuffin character out of nowhere kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, could you have made him interesting before this? That way I actually cared whenever his life was in danger. All I know that he likes whacking people with sticks, and he's Zoe's boyfriend. Fucking
All
milquetoast. I don't... What...
I think
What am I supposed to do with that?
they really, like, changed his narrative in this one. So I guess we're going to be skipping around, I guess, mostly to, like, end spoilers here. But...
Yeah,
like,
we're at the last bit of the series.
He gets
There's
his
gonna be
powers
spoilers.
because his powers, like, are for him to, like, protect her.
Yeah.
And to, like, protect what he cares about, like, is, like, what allows him to transform, what gives him his powers, what allows him to go over 9,000.
Yeah.
But that was not established in the manga. At least that's not what I read. I don't remember. It's been about a month. I can't tell you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think... yeah, I'm just like... These 3 episodes, I kind of was like, glancing down at my phone. I'm, like, not really invested. But maybe we should talk about the episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, although they all
I don't
kind of
remember
blend
47.
together.
What happened in that? I remember 48 and 49 a little better.
47.
That had something to do... Was there an octopus? Am I crazy?
It was either the octopus or...
48 was when they went to the Mountains of Madness for a vacation.
Yes.
So 47 had to be the octopus then.
I believe so?
Okay, so... Deep Blue, Big Brother, Blue's Clues, whatever his name is. The subtitles
Blue's
sometimes
Clues.
change. Yeah. Steve tells his subordinates. Steve tells his subordinates to kill the Blue Knight. Because reasons. And they're like, okay. And then Sardon's like, I'm gonna do it. I found the perfect way to kill them, and there's like only a 0.8% chance that they could possibly survive this totally fatal plan that I have developed. And of course they're gonna figure it out because no one's gonna die in this show for some fucking reason. They make a blob that turns into an octopus with frog legs, and
It is also a flying saucer?
yeah. I mean, I think the flying saucer is probably the least weird thing in this show.
Well, the frog legs can turn into spikes.
That's true,
There's
yeah.
also that.
I thought it was an amoeba, like a single-cell
I did
organism.
too. Yeah.
Like, I think that would be a cool idea. Like, do you know how violent and terrible single-celled organisms are? Because just the horrible environment they live in and the just
they guzzle up
hostile.
anything they
They're
can.
so hostile.
Yeah.
That would be they're like nearly a perfect killing machine.
Yeah. They'll eat anything that comes their way. They'll eat
Yeah.
other living cells.
Yeah,
But,
how do you
mine
kill it?
now.
It's a
Yum, yum,
blob.
yum.
It's like why everyone's afraid of freaking oozes and gelatinous cubes in D&D. How do you fight them? There are ways to fight them, but it's like the first time you see one, it's like gonna freak you out a little bit. That could have been cool, but no, it's just an octopus with retractable legs, I guess. But it takes all the Mew Mews hostage, and I had that I've seen enough hentai moment because it's a shoujo show. We might as well have a moment like that.
But
Admittedly, it wasn't as pervy as I thought. Did you say what?
I said bleh.
Yeah. But yeah, so they capture all the Mew Mews, which, good job, I guess this is working. And then they're like, all right, now we're not gonna kill any of them, but we are gonna beat up the Blue Knight until, I don't know. These guys just wait on so many good killing blow options. Yeah, the Mew Mews try to fight. They get captured. They beat up the Dark. I almost said the Dark Knight. That would be interesting. Batman shows up. No, they beat up the Blue Knight until I guess Zoe decides to go Super Saiyan. Which I guess was that 0.8% chance of failure.
Yep.
Which of
Guess
course
so.
happens because, the power of love, yada yada yada.
Yep.
They should have just killed her and then killed the Blue Knight. Do you think maybe him just being in despair after getting his ass kicked and then watching his girlfriend die probably would have been enough to kill him? I think it could have worked. I think they fucked up. Is it weird that I'm just trying to figure out how the villain's plans could have worked? Like I'm rooting for them.
I mean, it's Saturday morning cartoon logic. The villains should always find a way to win, but they always do. They always lose out of to pure luck or pure stupidity.
Did you guys ever watch Wacky Races or see any all of those old cartoons?
No.
Are you aware of them?
No.
Oh,
Is it a
God.
Hanna-Barbera cartoon?
Yeah. Dick Dastardly is always in first place, and then he stops to set up traps to stop the other racers from winning. But if he just kept going, he would win.
I mean, he wanted to be the Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, but if you're already in first place, who cares? You don't have to set traps. How did you got in first place?
It's not about winning, it's about destroying your enemy.
Destroy them morally first. Destroy them in their hearts, and then the rest will follow. You do that by winning. That's what I think, anyway. Anyway, outside of old cartoons from the 70s and 80s, not even the 60s. I don't know. 70s, I think. It came out around the same time as Scooby-Doo. Yeah, so they fuck up, because of course they do. And yeah, I guess Zoe and Mark confess their love for each other again, and they're like, yo, you aren't just here to protect me, I'm here to protect you, and blah, 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 love conquers all. And I'm like, Is this like Chips? I know you've talked about like the love plot thing.
I hate it.
Yeah. I don't think anyone cares about these two. I mean, I care about them in the sense that like they're characters that are supposed to win and they're the superheroes, blah blah blah. But it's like, do we care about their relationship?
Nope. Everyone I know who likes the show likes Kish.
Yeah. He's not milquetoast. That's something.
So, yeah.
I feel like every anime girl always ends up with the most boring guy.
I'm really not sure, like, why that is. But it's just, like, they always, like, in shoujo, anime, and manga, they always, like, have the one really boring vanilla sweet one that the girl usually will end up with. And then you have, like, the other male character who's, like, kind of aggressive and a bit of a jerk with a soft side.
The interesting one?
I wouldn't even call him interesting.
I call Dren interesting.
I wasn't talking about Dren. I was talking about Elliot.
Oh, yeah, that loser.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like, they always
He's not
have
a loser.
him.
He's not a loser. He's a dumbass.
Yeah.
I've made that
and
very
then-
clear.
And then sometimes you'll have the one who's a bit of a psycho.
Oh, that's Dren.
Yeah. I mean, he did go psycho within these past couple episodes.
Yeah.
Although, half of that is psycho, and half of that is him trying to get to his goals that he's trying to achieve of his own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't usually really stated, but then, like, it comes out that he's really just trying to, like, find a solution to their problem.
Yeah, he thinks outside the box.
Yeah.
Which is why I kind of like him. He's, like, not really bound by any sort of, like, loyalties of, like, oh, we have to follow this guy to make this happen. He's like, you know what, let's experiment. Let's play around with a couple different ideas, see what sticks, and, you know, if we can make it work, we can make it work. Like, I like that mentality. All right. I don't know. Where was he in all
Very
this?
much in the chaotic alignment.
Oh, yeah, he's fun. Yeah, got that chaotic energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
So...
Speaking of chaos, madness, and other things, we're going on vacation, I guess.
Yeah,
Not a beach
barbecue
episode.
picnic.
Yeah, we spent the beginning of the episode talking about barbecue and sauce on your mouth.
And shish kebab.
Yeah, and then... Hey, how did we not notice that we were by a Cthulhu setting?
Or, I honestly thought at the very beginning of the episode it was a giant termite hill.
I kind of thought that too, but it's like so big and so like jagged and covered in holes, and I'm just like, yeah, these are the mountains of madness.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, people get lost in them, and
Which
they change
did.
colors and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, yeah, this is a Cthulhu setting. Why aren't you working with this? Why did we not notice this before?
Because they didn't get into the craziness until they actually walked into the maze.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's the basic premise. Evil mountain, obviously made by aliens, or at least taken over by aliens. Everyone goes in because maybe there's Mew Aqua, or maybe there's a radiation leak, or maybe someone left their
Something.
car battery dying, or I don't... These people have no idea where anything is.
Nope.
I've discussed this plenty. I'm not going to go into it again. But anyway, let's go into this clearly demonic-looking termite hill and hope for the best. And I don't know if anyone saw this coming. It was a trap.
I did.
Yeah, no, people in like 3 counties over saw it was a trap. But, yeah, they split them all up. Everyone's kind of lost. Dren wants to kill the Blue Knight again. I guess this is his turn at it. The other two tried their bit last time. But the power of love conquers all again. I think that's all I can say about these. It's like every time like something happens and they're targeting the Blue Knight, the power of love conquers all. That's it.
Yep.
Yeah. Zoe and the rest of the Mew Mews can suddenly teleport.
Mm-hmm.
And what else happened?
Dren thinks he found their savior.
Yeah, because he blew up.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Mark went full Broly on this one.
Mm-hmm.
And, he nuked the mountain.
Yep.
With his blue energy.
Uh-huh, leaving a giant crater.
Mm-hmm. Which I guarantee you, that energy signature never showed up on Elliot or Wesley's computer because they're fucking idiots. But, you know, hey, everyone should be dead, but they're not. I think that's it, right? Dren survived, said that he's his savior. I guess they're going to use his energy to probably bring back Steve.
Yes.
Yep.
I
mean, I should call him Steve. I mean, like, this Blue Aqua stuff, it's like, oh, is this the thing? Is this the thing? It's turning into Blue's Clues. And I think, like, at the very least, Wesley and Elliot are on the same, like, intellectual level as people who Blue's Clues is made for. So,
Wow.
I think it's an apt comparison.
I mean, sure.
So you're saying they have the minds? So you're saying they have the mentality of a toddler?
I think that'd be insulting to toddlers, but you know, possibly.
Damn.
Yeah. If you weren't aware, I don't really like Elliot. Wesley's usually okay, but you know, I think his dumbassery is more of like, it's kind of because he hangs out with Elliot so much. He's kind of a dumbass by proxy. So, yeah. Then I guess we go into what was it, 49?
Yep.
What happened here? I remember the end. What else happened?
So, apparently, Dren, talks to, Sardon and Tart, and
Oh, right.
basically is like, hey, so, I think he can help us. Are you guys with me in, trying to, make this work? And Tarb's like, heck yeah! And
Yeah, I got
Zardon's
that chaotic energy.
no. How dare you try to, use this guy and, not follow our leader. And he's
Damn
like,
lawful
okay.
evils. They never get along with the chaotic evils, who are more fun.
Yeah. But, so, it's a day off for everyone. Which they're all still in their school clothes, which I don't understand.
Yeah.
But, so, what happens is...
Oh, I know what happens. Let us make some moves on Elliot.
Yeah.
Give her
Yeah,
points. She's just putting herself out there.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta give credit for that kind of thing. She's got some courage in her dating
Zacharo's
life.
wandering around the city,
As
putting
Zacharo
this
do.
to her family. Mint goes home and has some tea.
With the butler, who apparently wants nothing but to serve Mint.
And then Zoe's going home trying to figure out what to do. Mark's parents call her, wondering where he is because he's gone missing.
I'm surprised they noticed. He's so boring that I didn't even know that they knew he was living there.
So, and he's actually wandering around the city in a daze, which is
It's
the
always...
the shots
Sorry.
of his face are very creepy in this episode.
You know it's a bad day when the middle schoolers look drunk.
Yep. So, Zoe's freaking out. She calls, Elliot and Wesley is like, he went missing. They can't find him. And, everyone's, I guess, running
And
around
Elliot and Wesley
trying to
are like,
find
we
him
can't help. We're looking for Blue's Clues because they're really fun.
Because I guess Elliot and Wesley feared that this would happen.
You know what? They fear a lot of
'Cause they're
things would
freaking
happen.
out.
They fear about a lot of things. They worry about a lot of things. They tell no one about these things and then do nothing to actually make anything better. They're the worst characters in this show. Again, mostly Elliot. Wesley by proxy.
Yes. So that devolves into like them running around trying to find Mark, while also like every single monster of the week suddenly comes back.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I don't think they're the original monsters. I think they're like carbon copy monsters, like not as good.
I think what they do when they fight the Mew Mews is they gather data and they save said data. So Dren's just got a bunch of like data saves of all their monsters.
Because I was wondering about that, because they're clearly not at full strength, because individual Mew Mews are taking them down, multiples of them very easily, and some of them are monsters who you had to have a human soul to work with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really just a distraction. It's a very, I'm going to say this, I like the idea of it. It was a very, like, Lord Zed Power Rangers move. Let's just take a bunch of monsters and throw them all at once and see what they can handle.
Well, it was mostly just as a distraction.
Yeah, of course it was. Because like
them away.
you don't throw all your monsters out unless there's a much larger plan at stake.
Yep, and then Dren tries stealing Mark's soul.
Yeah,
he can't do it
because he doesn't have one. He's so boring. They didn't give him one.
Shots fired,
dude. Shots have been firing. Where have you been?
I know. I'm just joking.
Well, when they can't steal his soul. They're
like
freaking
every
out
guy in
like,
this show is just garbage.
Yes.
Except for the dad. He's fun. He has personality.
So they try stealing his soul, doesn't work. Like suddenly, Mark starts like sort of transforming, not really, between himself and the Blue Knight, and then everything just kind of goes to shit, and he turns into Deep Blue.
Yeah, who's just brunette Blue Knight.
Dun.
It was Steve all along.
Yep.
Yeah, that's our cliffhanger. I'm assuming the last 3 episodes will be just fighting Deep Blue, which, good for a series finale. These are boring episodes. I don't know if it was just because they were focusing on Mark or something, but yeah.
I think they were just putting, like, a lot of emphasis on the fact that, like, hey, here's this person who is, like, our main character's love interest. He's
That's
super
all that
powerful,
he is.
But also, like, here's just how OP he is, so this could be a bad thing.
I mean, I call him a Mary Stu, but... I don't know. Hang on. I think we might have lost...
We did.
Gav. That's unfortunate. Oh well. We won't get to hear their final thoughts on the thing, but I don't know. What are our final thoughts on these episodes?
Not good.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just like I've lost so much goodwill with this show over the last season that I just don't care moving into the end, or whether it's these.
Do you
last
think you would have
episodes
liked
just...
it more if it was dubbed?
I mean, that's a given.
Yeah.
I feel like this just would have been funnier and would have like distracted me from the, because like I know I complained about plot holes before whenever we were watching the dub, but it was like how you complain about plot holes in a kind of a funny movie. It's like how you complain about the stupid stuff in Batman and Robin. You're having fun watching it because it's a bad movie that's fun to make fun of, and you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why are Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy working together? They shouldn't work together because their goals of, like, freezing the planet and turning the planet into planet doesn't make sense. But at the same time, you're like, oh, ice puns. It's funny. Who cares? I think the fact that it's not really funny anymore, I can't turn off my brain enough to just be like, I'm just going to sit and enjoy this anymore.
I honestly think, like, it, because they followed the magical girl anime formula, that, like, an anime that could have been, like, way more concise, like, went on for far too long.
Yeah.
Had too much friendship and, like, sort of, like, morality episodes that it just...
I'm fine with that. That's fine. I get that that's part of the thing. Sailor Moon always had those, and
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I guess it kind of came from G.I. Joe before anything else.
Mm-hmm.
The whole PSA at the end to alleviate the parents from being like, oh, this is a violent show or whatever. Oh, but you're learning a lesson at the end. That's fine. You can do something with that, or you can make it funny, or you can make it a parody, or you could do like a bunch of things. I just don't feel like they did anything interesting with it. I feel like they were just trying to make another Sailor Moon, which Sailor Moon is fine. If you're going to copy a magical girl show, that would be the one to copy, especially at the time period that this was coming out. But, and yeah, they have elements of it that make it unique to itself. And I don't know if this is like something that I'm also like saying about the manga. I haven't read the manga. Maybe it's just more interesting to some degree. I do
mean,
know that the anime is bogged down by filler. When maybe it didn't
The
need to be.
anime... The manga itself doesn't really have a lot of filler.
They tend not to.
And it has, like, the environmentalist message. That I will say, like, at least a few of the filler episodes in the beginning definitely had.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember not Mark.
Yes, Marco. But, like, it also definitely, like, I feel like the friendship elements in this show, like, came through more in, like, the filler bits rather than just, like, the girl's behavior, which is a lot of what I was talking about, like, I don't know, a couple episodes ago with, like, how, like, they have to, like, their friend, like, Ichigo and Mint's friendship in the anime isn't quite as visible as it is in the manga, because, like,
Yeah.
Mint's still a bit of a brat here
Yeah,
and
she's
there.
a snob and kind of
In
like...
the manga,
Yeah.
she's still a bit of a brat, but it, like, their interactions show that, like, the girls all genuinely care about each other and, like, that they all, like, are friends and get along really well.
Yeah.
Wolf, Sakura, is also not an ass.
Yeah.
She doesn't have that. Like, that whole little 2-episode thing doesn't exist.
Good. Because, wow.
Hello?
I hear you. Wait, well, you...
What
might have
part
lost
did
you.
I cut out at?
I don't know. You were just talking.
The 2-episode arc.
Yeah, for Sakura. Yeah, that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it shouldn't, but yeah.
Okay, so you caught that part?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
You never cut out for me.
Oh, like, it just showed that my thing was still, like, green, so usually when it does that, I'm like, oh no, and then I can't hear whatever you guys are saying.
Yeah, it's alright.
And I'm like, oh no. But yeah, so, like, the fact that it tries to focus on the other characters and give them, like, all individual episodes and, like, sort of arcs or character development, I think, is, like, what draws it out a little more. And it's nice. I like to see character, like, development and growth and, like, a little bit of backstory and whatever. But I don't like it when it's overdone.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
Do
filler
Avatar.
can be fine.
Do what Avatar did.
Yeah, Avatar had some episodes that kind of went nowhere. They were filler episodes, but most of them were fine. You know, it at
you
least
only
like
really
added some
need
character stuff or whatever.
One. You need one.
But, yeah.
You don't need 3.
Or 25.
Well, I mean, 3 as in, like, for a specific character specifically. Like what they did with
toning
Lettuce.
in one message.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. At the very least, there was some variety with it. I felt like at least with the anime and the dialogue that was given, we got these same 2 episodes twice.
Yeah.
That is a waste of time. I can at least be like, they were interested in this person who was interesting to them because of these reasons. And then there was another person interesting to them because of these reasons. There's some varied interest. There are some different people. Essentially, they're the same episode, but they at least are flavored different enough that you're like, okay, fine. It's like, yeah, we're having pizza every day, but this day it's pepperoni pizza. This day it's olives. This day it's buffalo chicken. I don't know. That's what those lettuce episodes are to me.
This day it's a pierogi pizza.
I didn't particularly like that one very much when we had it.
You didn't like the pierogi pizza?
It didn't really do it for me.
Okay.
But hey, I tried it. I'll try anything a couple times, once or twice.
I mean, I thought it was pretty good, but I don't know. Maybe that's just
get it
me.
again for yourself. That's fine. I'm just probably not going to have a slice. But yeah, I just, I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to see how it is in the last 3 episodes. If I'm going to predict my own thoughts after next week, I'm going to say it's a yay for the first half of the series and kind of a nay for the second half. Or at the very least, a very low meh. I don't know.
If you take out all the filler, I would say it's
cool.
probably a yay for me.
I mean, again, I'm not opposed to filler. It's just, if you're going to make half your series filler, make it good filler. Like, you could at least do something interesting.
I take it, Chibi, you never saw the second half of the show growing up, just the first half?
Oh, no. I watched the second half.
They had it subbed back then for you to watch?
Yeah. Well,
this was
I
like
mean,
2000
I watched the first half when I was maybe about 10, 11, and I watched it, and it was dubbed.
Yeah.
And then when I was about 13, I went and watched all of the sub. So it's been...
That was about when you could actually watch anime on YouTube.
Yeah. So that was about a little over 10 years ago.
Yep. The heyday of watching anime in 360p, if you were lucky. With fan
480p.
subs. 80p?
480.
Oh my God. 480.
Yeah, you could find some of it for 480
If
on here.
you're lucky.
And they always had to be
Comic
chunked into
Sans
like 3
yellow
parts.
fan subs.
I mean, yeah, they would usually have to be in at least 2 or 3 parts because of the time limit for the videos.
Yeah. God, what different times we live in now.
Especially considering now that the YouTube algorithm is all about watch minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any other final thoughts going into the next episodes? I mean, you already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Envy, any predictions?
You'll probably be disappointed.
Someone's gonna die.
Someone's going to die?
Yes.
Who's going to die? Is it Mark?
I
guess.
mean-
It's the character I'm actually interested in, isn't it?
Probably.
Okay, Dren's dead, thanks. Great. Couldn't have been Elliot. Couldn't have been Mark.
People just die at the end of shows. But you know, they never leave it like that. They always have a resurrection or something.
Whatever. Alright. It's a meh for me today. It's probably gonna meh for me next week. Or an A. I don't know. But we'll finish it next week. So make sure to watch or try to remember or do whatever for episodes 50 to 52 of Tokyo Mew Mew.
Oh, and episode
And-
12 of Magia Record.
I was gonna say that, yeah. The one I'm actually interested in. And then don't forget the week after that we're watching Velocipaster, and next week we'll announce what we're gonna be watching after Tokyo Mew Mew. So yeah, make sure you tune in to see what else we're gonna be subjecting ourselves to in the future. Alright, I think that's it. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and feel free to check out some of our other gaming videos, our weekly podcast Anime Yay or Nay, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!